Well, hey, you all, and welcome back to my Appalachian Life. I'm so glad to see you again this week. Thanks for stopping by. This week has been a hodgepodge of things going on, so I didn't do a really good job of videoing, but I'll show you what I did. But it started out this week working in the garden, so I've got some more corn planted in the garden now. Wasn't going to plant that, but there was such a big space where there wasn't anything, and I didn't want to hoe weeds in that space, so I planted corn. But done that, and I've taken Joe's Pathfinder to a mechanic to have him check it over, and ended up selling it this week. So that was a blessing, and it went to a couple in our church that were needing a second vehicle. So that was a blessing, for me to be able to sell it to them, and it's something that they needed. So thank you, Lord, for that. And what else? It's just been crazy this week. I washed a lot of vehicles this week, just trying to get them ready. Now, in 2016, Joe bought me a car that I had been eyeing for 10 years. Every time I'd see one on the road, I thought, oh, it would be so much fun to have that car for us just to take fun rides in. And it's a Toyota Solara convertible. And I just thought the white exterior car and tan interior and the tan top looked so classy. And he found one in 2016, just exactly what I wanted, and he bought it for me. Oh, how sweet was that? I remember us going to look at it. It was locally. It was in Bristol for sale by owner. And we went to look at it. And it's that pearly white, and the sun was just sparkling and dancing on it. They had it cleaned up really good, and we took it for a test drive. And Joe doesn't play the radio or anything when he's test driving a car. He wants to hear what the engine sounds like, and if he hears anything unusual. So I'm quiet, sitting there beside Alvin, and we're riding down the road. And after a little while, he said, "Honey," and I was just preparing myself. He hears something, and we're not going to buy this car. And I said, "What is it?" And he said, "I love this car." And I knew we were coming home with it. So that was so sweet of him to do that. But anyway, we've had a lot of fun in it, just taking drives through the country roads and on the Blue Ridge Parkway and picnics. And so I got it out and cleaned it all up this week along with my other vehicles. But anyway, that kept me busy. And then my friend Donna was wanting to take me to a place in Newland, North Carolina, and I think it's called the the Cottage Warehouse Consignment, I think is what it's called, in Newland, North Carolina. And she came and picked me up Saturday morning, and Dawn was going to go with us, but at the last minute, something came up and she couldn't go. So Donna and I went, and I'm sorry I did not film in there, but it was a really neat place to visit. And I bought a pottery bowl in there, and I'll show it to you in the film. I'm using it next to my coffee pot in the kitchen and just keeping all of my coffee pods inside that bowl. So that was my only purchase there. And from there, we went into Newland, North Carolina, and we shopped at a little store. It's antiques and gifts and home decor and things like that. But it's called The Find in Newland, North Carolina. And we spent a lot of time in there. And I bought a dish towel. And you might think, oh, Lord, you can get those anywhere. But yeah, you can. But this one had a really pretty screen print of the Blue Ridge Mountains on it, which I love. And it's a really nice linen. And I thought I would use that when I make my sourdough bread and have to let it rise. And I can just spread that linen cloth over the top of the dough while it's rising and enjoy that picture of the Blue Ridge Mountains. So then from the Find, we drove into Boone, North Carolina. And we were going to check out a place on King Street called Anna Banana's Consignment. But with it being a Saturday and a holiday weekend, it was so busy on that main street called King Street in Boone that we decided just to try that another time. So from there, we just stopped at the mall there in Boone and shopped at TJ Maxx and Home Goods. And I did buy a big, pretty artificial basket of flowers that I thought would be pretty sitting on my front porch. But now that I've got it home, I think it's too big for the table that I wanted to sit it on. So unless I find another place around the house to use that, I will probably be taking that back to TJ Maxx this week. But anyway, that has been my week. And I'll show you the video that I did try to make a video of making strawberry Napoleons because I had gotten a pint of fresh strawberries and they were delicious. And I started on that recipe one morning and got the strawberries all hulled and sliced up. And I got a call from a spa that I go to in Colonial Heights. And the lady said I had an appointment the next day with her. And she said, I have a cancellation at 11:15 this morning. Could you possibly come today? And I said, I can. So the next day they were calling for a lot of rain anyway. So I was happy to take that appointment and I didn't have to get out in the rain on Thursday. But anyway, that whole day was full of interruptions and I never did get back to filming the Napoleons. And it was late in the day when I finished that recipe. And I'll show you the end result of it. And as always, I'll put the recipe for that in the description box below this video. And they were very good, very light, and something different to use the strawberries with. Very simple. And I think you'll like it. So I think that's all I've got to say about what this week has consisted of. So without further ado, here's the video. Hey guys, welcome back to another week at my Appalachian Life. I'm Joanna, and this is Monday evening. It's about 7:30, and this is Tuesday evening. I'm sorry. It's been like 91 degrees today, and I was waiting for the evening so it's not so hot to come out and plant some corn seed in the area of the garden where we didn't have anything. Now, I couldn't sleep last night, so I turned on TV and I watched a lady that does gardening, and she was talking about how she planted her corn, that in the past that her corn always got blown down, and mine does too when I plant it. And she said she planted it in rows. Well, that's how I planted it. But she learned that you're supposed to plant corn in squares, like in a grid pattern, and that helps with the pollination and it doesn't blow over. So I decided in this extra space in the garden, we didn't have anything, I'm going to try it. So I've been planting corn seed. I don't know if you can tell, but I've got several rows going this way and that way, this way and that way. So this is about a 4x4 section, and what I'm doing now is going back with the end of my rake because it's been a while since the garden was tilled, so it's got compacted a little bit. I was trying to do it with my finger, but I decided that the end of this rake would probably work better, and just push it down at about 1 inch in the ground. So I'm going to get all these corn seed pushed in, then I'll cover them up good. Well, I finished that little project. You can see where I watered it in, that 4x4 square where I planted the corn, and I covered it up with dirt and put some 10-10-10 fertilizer on top. They suggested to top coat it with some compost or horse manure, but we already have so much horse manure worked in with this soil, so I didn't top dress it. So I watered everything else. They're calling for rain starting tomorrow night and rain all day Thursday, and I hope we get it because we are so dry. I've got some things sitting out to remind me I need to fix some things. I cleaned out the pantry, the canned goods up here, and I've got 2 cans of tuna that is getting ready to expire soon. So I'm going to make some tuna salad to eat on this week. And then I have cans of fruit over here that I had gotten several months ago because there was a recipe by Amy's Louisiana Kitchen, and she called it Louisiana fruit salad, something like that. But it looks so good and interesting. I was wanting to make it. I never have made it yet. And now the cans of fruit are about to expire. So I set them out so that I could remind myself, make that salad. It has peach pie filling in it, mandarin oranges, chunk pineapple, and peach flavored jello, along with some other ingredients, but we'll make that later. And I also this weekend went by the Big Red Apple Shed in Bluntville, Tennessee, and they had some delicious looking strawberries. So I just now washed, hulled, and peeled those, and I'm going to make a recipe called strawberry and whipped cream. No, that's not the one that I'm going to make. It's the Strawberry Napoleons, whatever I did with that recipe. Strawberry Napoleons, and you use puff pastry and whipped cream and put it all together. This recipe was something similar to that, but I'm making the other recipe that I found online. But I was ready to start on that, and I just got a phone call. I had a pedicure scheduled for tomorrow afternoon, and it's supposed to be a rainy day tomorrow. Well, the lady called me and she said, I have a cancellation at 11:15 today, if you can make it today. And I said, yes, I'll make it. So that's about an hour away. So I won't start this Strawberry Napoleon yet. I'll wait till I get back. So stay tuned. Well, it's not completely cooled, but I couldn't wait any longer. Here is my Strawberry Napoleon, and I'm going to sit down and enjoy it. Well, it's a rainy Thursday, and I've been to the gym, and I decided to stop here at Just Stuff Decor and More in Kingsport and just browse around a little bit before I go.
Well, they didn't have anything of interest for me today, but it's just one of those hit and miss times, hit and miss places. It rained this morning, but we've not had much rain this afternoon, so the garden was dry enough that I could get into it, and I'm planting another 4x4 square of corn. This is the patch I planted earlier this week, and they're not coming up yet. And then I just made this other patch, a 4x4 square. There's 5 holes going this way and that way, this way and that way. So there's 100 holes. So I'm going to fill those holes up with some candy corn seed. That will be 100 seeds in this 4x4 square. I've had this seed for a while and I need to use it. Well, the holes are all filled up with the corn seed, but look at my hand now. The red dye or something on that corn seed is all over my hand. So I've got those covered up now and ready to pat down. I'm going to put some fertilizer on it, but first I'm going to hoe up all these weeds between these rows of landscape fabric before it starts to rain again. Mission accomplished. I got the new corn square fertilized and everything, all the weeds hoed up between the rows. The bean seed has come up that I planted last week. They're looking good. Those are state half runners. Okay, the rain's coming in the next hour or two, so I'm not going to bother watering that fertilized in that I put on top, so the rain will do it. Thankful for the rain. We've been so dry.
This is the beautiful pot of artificial flowers that I purchased at TJ Maxx in Boone. And they are just beautiful colors. And I really want to find a place to use them here. But I think I'm just going to have to take them back. Because everywhere I look where I might can set them outside, it's just too big. So I still have the tag on them. And they'll be going back to TJ Maxx in Johnson City. Y'all, I'm just a sucker for pretty pottery. And when I saw this bowl in Newland, look how pretty. And look at the detail on the handle. And pretty colors in it. So I had to have it. I think it was $25. It's got a piece of felt on the bottom so it doesn't scratch the countertop. So I just thought it would be pretty to put my coffee pods in here next to the coffee pot in the kitchen. And y'all, I have just totally forgot to show you the completed kitchen. I did finally get the front crown on the hood put up. That was the last thing that needed to be done. So it is done. This is my newly remodeled kitchen. The old kitchen, the refrigerator was here when you come in the back door here, and the refrigerator was there, and I had it moved over to this wall. So in its place, I put a pantry. And then I have the stove and the hood. I had to get a smooth top stove because I don't have anywhere to install gas. And I'm still getting used to that smooth top. I don't think I like it as well as I did the one that had the round plates on top. But I'm making it work. So there's the stove and the hood and all the other cabinets. My farmhouse double sink, stainless sink, my farmhouse light above the sink. And I'm looking for a window treatment for this window. I don't want much because I love looking at the view outside. So just a little window topper of some kind, or maybe a Roman shade. I've been looking, but I've not found any material, fabric, or whatever for the pre-made ones that I like. I need some color in here as a contrast to the white. And even though I do have the hood, and behind me here is the island, same color as the hood. And I have the microwave pull-out drawer here. And I love that. You just pull this down right here. You hit open and it slides open. I keep a little cover in there to cover things I'm heating up. And you just push it again for it to close. And when you're not using it, that just folds up out of the way. And I really like it. And then my trash can is in this pull-out drawer. And on this wall is where the refrigerator is now. And I had to leave this space open for this door to swing open to come in and out of it that goes out onto a deck. So there was nothing on this wall before. So now I've got the refrigerator and some more cabinetry around there. So that is the kitchen. My countertops are quartz. And I can't remember the name of them. But if you want to know, drop me a message and I will tell you what the name of this countertop is. But I love it. I love just the minimal veining in it, just enough to make it pop. And instead of the backsplash, I took the quartz on up the wall. So it's smooth and easy to clean. And got a little decoration here. My brother Johnny Ray made this wood-carved rooster for my mother-in-law one year for Christmas. We called it the Mad Rooster.
See the frown on it. And I think the other side looks mad too. The mad rooster. But I loved it, and when she passed away, I asked if I could have it since my brother made it, and it's just special to me now.
Well, you guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. And this is Memorial Day weekend, actually. And I just wanted to say that we should always remember those who gave the ultimate sacrifice for the freedoms that we enjoy today. And we live in the greatest country, and we've had so many men and women who have gone before us that have been killed in the line of duty, fighting for our country. And we just need to remember them and say a prayer for their families if they're still living. And remember those that are serving today in harm's way, and ask God to keep them safe and give them the strength to accomplish the mission that they are out to do. And I thank all of those who are currently serving. And I thank all of those veterans who have served before. And we need to really be thankful and say a thank you to those that we know are veterans and thank them for their service. So anyway, that's all there is for this week. And I pray that you have a blessed week to come. And in the meantime, I'll see you next week, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. So until then, keep walking in the light. He loves you, and I do too.